So Apple held their spring event today that included announcements to updates to multiple products. One in particular I'm especially excited about. Find out what that is and why, coming up. Thank you for watching PDot TV, where you'll find tips, tricks, and tutorials for DJs and music performers. Now, let's get into the video. So today, April 20th, 2021, Apple held their spring event, which they announced updates to such products as the iPhone 12 and the iMac, and one in particular I'm really excited about, and that's the update to their iPad Pro. Now, I've been a fan of the iPad Pro line since the first generation and ended up waiting till the second generation in 2018 to finally pick one up. Now, the 2018 iPad Pro really caught my attention because it was the first iPad to ditch the Lightning connector in favor of USB-C, which would be used for charging and for data transfer. This put the iPad Pro more in line with other Mac devices such as the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro, which also ditched the other ports in favor of the more versatile USB-C port. Now, what this meant for the iPad Pro is it would be a lot easier to use other accessories such as external hard drives and other USB devices with the new iPad Pro because of that USB-C port. Now, for DJs and content creators like myself, this meant not having to spend that extra bunch of money to get an iPad with a huge hard drive. Instead, we could put all of our content on an external drive and plug it directly into the iPad using that USB-C. Now, while that's all well and good, the iPad still felt like just a tablet until last year. In 2020, Apple announced and released the new Magic Keyboard for the iPad. Now, this thing is great. Not only is it a great keyboard, but it also gives you trackpad support, which makes this feel a lot more like a laptop and a full computer. Now, when this Magic Keyboard dropped, I really hoped that more music creation and DJ apps would take advantage and start putting their apps on the iOS platform, especially for the iPad. And that brings us to today's announcement. Today, Apple announced that the new 2021 iPad Pros would feature the new Apple M1 chip. Yes, that's the same processor that's in the MacBook Air and MacBook Pro, along with their other Mac lineup such as the Mac Mini and the new iMac. This marks the first time that the iPad will share the same processor that Apple uses in their line of computers. So to me, that means it's more likely that apps like Serato or Rekordbox or Tractor will find their way over to the iPad. Now, other factors that lead me to believe that this might be possible in the near future is the fact that we've already seen iPad iOS apps make their way over to Mac, and making that transition from Mac to iOS on the iPad Pro that shares the same processor will probably be a lot easier moving forward. Another reason is the fact that Serato just updated Serato DJ Pro to version 2.5, and if you look in the release notes, it mentions support for the new Apple M1 chip, which is the exact same one that's going to be in the new 2021 iPad Pro. Now, I'm not going to say that this is going to happen in the next few weeks or months, nor do I have any insider info regarding this, but I can see in the next year, maybe 2 years, actually having to be able to DJ on an iPad, just bring this to your gig instead of having to lug around a laptop. Now, Apple has another event in June that they call WWDC, where they usually cover the software side of their product line and give you a roadmap of what's ahead to come in the next year. Now, while it is possible, though I doubt it, that we'll see such apps as Serato and Rekordbox make the announcement there, I really hope to see the announcement that Mac apps will start to be able to be used on the new iPad Pro. And if we see that, that's a really good sign of things to come as far as Pro apps on the iPad platform, especially if you're interested in using the iPad as your main computer. So that brings me to my question of the day. If your DJ app of choice was available to use on an iPad, would you ditch the actual laptop and move to something more portable and mobile like this? Go and leave that down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And as always, if you're interested in more tips, tricks, and tutorials just like this one, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.